Okay, so our last video should put it all together. And so we need to say we have these ants and they can wander randomly. They can go home and they can follow the gradient. Let's get them out there picking up food, dropping gradient on the way back home so that other ants can follow that gradient and make it all work. So let's start coding things up. I have changed the model from last time. I got rid of the random pheromone that's being added to the environment. I'm just back to basics again. And I put the ants back at their home position. And it's time for us to write the ant basic step. I need this to be much more specific here. Now, one thing that's going to help me, I'm going to code this up right now, is a function called getItem. Again, this is adapted from another model here in Mesa called Sugarscape. But what I'm going to do is say I need to find here the type of thing I'm looking for. So how I'm going to use this, I'm going to say, hey, I am at a spot. Go find the food thing that's here, or go find the home, or go find the environment. There's lots of things that could be here because we're living in a multi-grid. And this is going to make it easier for us not to have this for loop happening all the time, but to just be able to put it together. So I'm going to say, where am I? Go talk to the model and go talk to the grid and get the cell list contents based on my position. So give me everything that is here. It might be a lot of agents. For each agent in this cell, I need to know if it's the type that I'm looking for. If the type of the agent is item, then I found it. That's a nice method. I'm looking at this multi-grid for a particular item. This is how I can find it. Okay, so now we can start sketching out our step function. What we want to be doing is saying we have two basic states that we can be in. We can be in the foraging state, or we can be in the homing state. It's going to be convenient for us to have our state up here. We're going to start off all the ants foraging for food, and then we can come down here and say, hey, if self.state is equal to foraging, it's time to do some foraging behavior. So when do I forage? When I'm foraging, I should be going and looking for food. So first question I want to ask, is there food here? If there is, then I want to eat the food and start going home. That's nice. If there's not food, then I want to say follow the gradient. I've got that taken care of down here, but is there food here? Let's see how I can ask that question now. Food equals self.getItem food type. Hey, what comes back from this? If there is food here, I will get the agent, that is the food. If there's not, I will get back none. So if food is not none, and the food has any food, then I want to eat. Hey, food. Remember that method I wrote, eaten? That means I'm here, I'm going to take one of your food. Self.state equals homing. I have changed my state to do something else, and I'm going to start going home. Okay, otherwise, I am going to follow the gradient. Okay, so if I'm foraging, something was broken. What happened? Back in my model, I'm trying to run it here. Looks like it's running, but I still have my ants way up here. They shouldn't be way up there. Something forgot to get saved along the way. Again, I did not save my model. Yes. Let's try this again. Mesa run server. They're in the center again. And let's get them moving. Okay, so they're trying to follow the gradient. And there's nothing there. I need them to be wandering randomly. They're trying to do my gradient move, but nothing is happening. There's no food there. And again, I discovered something else. I have this tabbed over too far. This else should be lined up with this if to say, hey, if there's no food, then do my gradient move. Because the gradient move has this randomness involved. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing the randomness. Let's see what happens now. They're here. I start. There's the random moving. Perfect. Okay, so they're going to wander around for a bit. Let's see if I can get them to move a little faster. And then they're going to hit some food, and then they're pretty much going to change their state and do nothing. So close. Get up there. Go see that food. Nope. Okay, it's hard to test this behavior with just 4 ants and a couple limited food stores. So, what should I do? I could either change the number of food stores or I could change the number of ants. Let's go ahead and change the number of ants. Let's add 100 ants. It's going to get a little slower, but I have much more chance of having ants out there doing interesting things and running into food. Somebody's got to eat this food. And then show me that you just stop there. Nobody gets into that exact spot. They're in the boundary, just my visualization, but they're not getting into the exact spot in the middle. Oh man. Oh, there we go. I've got some people here. See this change from 99 to 98? This is changing down to 97. The food is getting eaten. Good. Half of my program is working then. So let's see what I want to do next. Under the agents, I said, great, if you're foraging, find some food, eat it. Otherwise, just try to follow the gradient and make some random moves. Otherwise, I'm going home. This is where my else can come into play. No, line it up here. So, else, I want to try to figure out how to go home. Well, if I am home, I don't need to move anymore. So, am I home? Drop off the food and go back out foraging. So, if my position is the same thing as the home position, I've made it home. I want to get that home agent. And so I use my method up here, self.getItem home. Go find me the home agent. Home. You get 1 piece of food that I've been carrying around. And my state is equal to foraging. Okay, but if I'm not at home and I am trying to go home, then I need to do the home move. Let's see what happens here. Trying to move these ants around. Let's get them going as quick as possible. Okay, cool. The ants were there, and then they start going home. Ooh, I can see the home going up to 2. So these ants, whenever they found something, boom, 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 they start going up. Oh, now it's 3. Good. So they are finding food and going back home, finding food and going back home, and then going out and finding food again and coming back home. This is what I want these ants to do. But they haven't used the communication method of their pheromone yet. Let's see if we can get that encoded in our next video.